What's going on, y'all? Welcome. It's been a long time coming. We are finally here at the beginning of the NFL season. I am your boy, Alan C., in the place to be. If y'all haven't already, go ahead and follow Al You Bugging on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Al You Bugging. Again, that's X and Instagram at Al_you_bugging. That's my preview show for the NFL season. So let's kick right into it. You know, show me the money. Just players, notable players who's currently in contract negotiations. Of course, you got the boy Saquon Barkley over there in New York. They gave him a 1-year contract to continue playing for this year. Well, they gave quarterback Danny Jones a contract in March and restructured his deal again this week. Before the move, they were 29th in cap space for the season. Saquon is that offense, and he makes that offense go. So if Danny got his deal and he got that much, then Saquon definitely needs to get his deal done. Keeping with the running backs, Jonathan Taylor over in Indy. Now, he will miss the first 4 weeks. He's on IR. But Jonathan Taylor definitely needs to get paid. But currently, he's in salary cap hell. Him and the owner are beefing, and I don't see how they can ever salvage that relationship going off of what Irsay said. And Irsay hasn't been known to really change his stance on players. And he's really stubborn over there. So I don't see Jonathan Taylor getting his deal signed at all. So Jonathan Taylor, he entered in the trade talks, but Indy was being real unreasonable. So it was almost like they didn't even want him to get traded. So they got to go ahead and get him some money. And, the boys, he's their offense. And you got a rookie quarterback back there and Anthony Richardson, who's going to need him. He needs that run game. He needs the tight ends. He needs the run game. He needs Paris Campbell. He needs these players. And Jonathan Taylor, like I said, they got a great offensive line, but Jonathan Taylor is that offense, and he's been that offense for the last few years. So he definitely needs to go ahead and get his deal signed. Austin Eckler, all around back for the Chargers. They signed Justin Herbert to the highest deal in the league. He became the highest paid quarterback after Jalen Hurts, and then Lamar got the highest paid contract. Austin Eckler is all around back for the Chargers. Now, he's been available for the most part behind that shaky offensive line. And compared to that offensive line, he's not compared to the offensive line, he's been more healthy than that offensive line staying together. So Eckler is Eckler is the offense there. As far as the running game goes, as far as the receiving game goes, yeah, you got Mike Will made it, and you got Keenan Allen, runner extraordinaire. But he needs to get paid. Interesting. I would look to see Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's entering his last year with the Titans, and this could possibly. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is literally his last year with the Titans. Tennessee went into a rebuild project. They drafted Malik Willis last year. They picked up Will Levis this year in the draft. Derrick Henry's on his last year. Ryan Tannehill's on his last year of contracts. I could see Derrick Henry being traded, a potential trade bait for Tennessee, get some picks for him and just go ahead and go forward, building the future. I mean, they got Hopkins, but they're going to need some wide receivers over there. I don't see them making the playoffs, and I'm going to get to my playoff teams later, but I don't see them making the playoffs. So Derrick Henry could be on the move. They could be sellers at the trade deadline, and Derrick Henry could be one of those that get moved. Josh Jacobs, he signed a 1-year deal with the Raiders. The Raiders they recently cleared $17 million to Jimmy G's cap hit. So that money somehow, some way needs to make its way to Josh Jacobs' bank account. Last year he was the leading in rushing. So he's definitely Um, needs to get paid. Nick Bosa currently holding out for a new deal. This was last year's defensive player of the year. And he's on his last year of his current contract. But the 49ers got the ninth least amount of cap space. Hopefully, they got the QB of the future and don't have to go somewhere and pay money for that. At least for the next couple of years, they got him and Brock Purdy. And their defense is completely different, in my opinion, without Nick Bosa, even though it's still one of the best rosters in the NFL. They definitely need to get one of the best rosters in the NFL back on that field. Um, Speaking of defense not being the same without him, Chris Jones is holding out for a contract over there in KC. Two-time Super Bowl champion. Again, he's on his last year his current contract. The Chiefs got less space than the 49ers do, but their defense is going to be a lot different without Chris Jones. They lost Frank Clark to the Broncos, and Aaron Donald is currently the highest paid defensive tackle, rightfully so. He's the best defensive tackle in the league and one of the best of all time. But Chris Jones has made his claim for the second best defensive tackle in the league. And since he's getting paid after, you know how that goes with the quarterback market. He's the next man up. Chris Jones should definitely be the highest paid defensive tackle in the league. They traded Tyreek Hill and they traded Orlando Brown Jr. I'm sorry, they let Orlando Brown Jr. go in free agency. So they traded Tyreek and they let Orlando Brown Jr. go in free agency and Frank Clark in free agency because they knew they wasn't going to pay them and Chris. So there's been a plan to pay him this year anyway. I don't know why that deal's not getting done. You already got a number. Just get it done. And another one that's a head scratcher for me is Joe Burrow. Why has Joe Burrow not been paid yet? He's not on the last year of his deal, so it's not really a rush. But Jalen Hurts became the highest paid quarterback for about a week or so before Lamar Jackson got his money. And then also from Joe Burrow's draft class, Justin Herbert got paid already. Justin Herbert is now currently the highest paid quarterback in the league, the highest paid player in the league. Tua has injury concerns, so they declined his fifth-year option. But I'm quite sure they're going to go ahead and give him a contract if he could prove he could be healthy. So what is he waiting on? What is Joe Burrow waiting on? If you were waiting on him to, get paid after Lamar, after Justin, after Jalen got that money, they already got it. So Joe need to get his. And, he's just going to get more and more expensive. Quarterback market is one of those positions you want to go to the table early than late because that QB market climbs. Not too many other markets that really climb as much as the quarterback market has been climbing. Your quarterback and your left tackle. You got the left tackle when they signed Orlando Brown. So now you got to take care of your quarterback. Now, the thing that could be tricky with this is if he's trying to take less so that he can have Chase and he can keep, Higgins. And maybe even Tyler Boyd, don't see why, but, you got them three. They become a free – Tyler Boyd becomes a free agent after this year, but they should have been locked up the franchise in Joe B. Joey B should definitely get paid sooner rather than later. All right, y'all. We got football coming up this week in a couple days, man. A couple days. It all starts in Arrowhead. The Kansas City Chiefs are kicking off their season against the Detroit Lions. Kansas City Chiefs open up home, drop the banner at Arrowhead. I can see this game being real high scoring. It's two top 5 offenses of last year. Best QB in the league, Patrick Mahomes on one side, and the Detroit Lions was the 5th highest scoring team. And when Pat and Jared Goff took off and, the Chiefs versus the Rams that year, that was one of the highest scoring games in the league, one of the most exciting games. I can see this game being the same way, going the same exact way. I like Penei Sewell on the Lions. Jared Goff had one of the most underrated seasons last year. He definitely balled out. Except Panay Shore, one of the best left tackles in the league, one of the best young left tackles in the league. Amon St. Rob Brown is a beast. Good young receiver going against the defense. Again, they're going to be down Chris Jones and Frank Clark moved on. Jahmyr Gibbs, fast, speedy, shifty running back out the backfield. I'm going to go ahead and say first bold prediction of the year, y'all. He will lead all rookies this week in running. All rookies this week, he will lead in rushing. Yes, that's going to be over my guy, Bijan Robinson. He will have the most yards this week. On the other side, you got the young GOAT, Pat Mahomes. Again, that offense with Andy Reid, but without EB, who went to Washington, still look for them to score a lot of points this year. They probably won't have to start this week, more than likely, without Travis Kelce. He hyperextended his knee in the last day of practice before the game. So I look for them to change their offensive game plan, probably feature Scott Moore a little bit more into the offense. Kadarius Toney featured into the offense a little bit more. But they're going to call it as it goes. And they're going to try to, pick holes into the young Lions, literally and figuratively. The Lions have a young defense led by Aiden Hutchinson, who's only a second-year player. They drafted a linebacker, Jack Campbell, in the first round as well. But again, these boys, they're young. So I definitely expect Mahomes and Andy to have the upper hand there. It's a big game, a lot of emotions going to be going into this one. But I'm putting them on upside alert. Not saying they're going to win it. It's the upside alert. There's always an upset of the week. I'm probably going to try to pick one every week. This one's going to be a high upside alert. If Detroit offense can make Pat Mahomes a spectator and, control the clock, control the game, again, with that young running back, and, Jared Goff don't turn it over on the road, I can see they definitely got a chance to win it. But no, they ain't going to win it. I see KC having a close game, 38-35 in this one. I'm picking KC to win it still. All right. Forget KC. We talking about my team. This is a Baltimoreans podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about, y'all see it across the bottom. I got eight on it. Lamar Jackson leading my team out there. I expect to see a big year out of him. Ravens kick off their season at home this Sunday, 1:00 against rookie C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Lamar got a brand new set of weapons, such wonderful toys on the outside. You got Odell Beckham. Of course, hopefully they get some chance to get rapport with Bate. You got the rookie Zay Flowers. You got Nelson Aguilar, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Bus in the backfield. I definitely don't expect them to get away from the run. What sense does that make to get away from the run? I understand you may not run it as much as you did with Greg Roman, but you definitely going to still be a running team. You got one of the best offensive weapons at quarterback ever in Lamar Jackson. And his game is predicated on the run and how well he can move. I see less run calls, zone reads, all of that for him. But it's actually running the ball. Yeah, I can see them still running the ball like crazy. They got those weapons and those pieces so that you can't double and triple Mark Andrews. And, Andrews got some help out there. Bate got some help out there. But I still expect them to, teams going to come out in zone coverage against Lamar so they won't turn their back trying to play people man-to-man. But, he got zone beaters all over the field. Bate, Odell, Zay, Mark, Isaiah Likely, DuVernay, who's going to come in for a spell. All these guys can beat zone with their speed and their quickness. So the zone's only going to be but so effective if Lamar can go ahead and take what's given, get the ball out to his playmakers quick. I still expect to see a good 20 to 25 carries out the backfield called and Lamar might scramble again for another 5 to 6. But he's going to pass the ball about 30 to 35 times. So that's probably a good 30 to 35, 30-30 balance with the, about 60 plays, 30-30 balance, run pass. On the defensive side, I see Baltimore running a lot of zone and zone blitzes to heat up the rookie. It's C.J. Stroud's first start. He didn't look too well, didn't look too comfortable in preseason, and I don't expect Baltimore Ravens to make it an easy job for him to get comfortable with his very first start. I expect to see a lot of Damian Pierce out the backfield. He's going to be a second-year guy, so I see him coming out the backfield a lot until they start to trail. D'Amico Ryans being a rookie head coach, being a defensive one, it's going to be in his best interest to keep the game low scoring as much as possible. Try to win it on the defensive side. You got Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley, both of them coming into their second year. They legit playmakers. Again, I mentioned Will Anderson. He's a rookie from Alabama, and I see him heating up on the defensive side as well. But I got the Ravens to be able to put a lot of pressure on the QB this week. I don't think they have a great pass rush, but I think with the different zone blitzes that they can call, I see Roquan Smith winning the chess match against the rookie C.J. Stroud, and I also see Hobbs and Mike McDonald winning the chess match when it comes to the coaching. Sorry, with the rookie head coach. Baltimore gonna win this one 31-14, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and talk about AFC playoff teams. I'm gonna do a quick preview of the NFL season. Who I think going to make it to the playoffs from the AFC. Each division. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the AFC West, and the champion Chiefs going to win that division. We're gonna switch it to the AFC North. Forgot the Bengals winning that division again. I still see Buffalo winning that division, and Jaguars winning that. So the division winners don't change. Crazy. I don't see them changing at all. Brand new playoff team will be the Jets. They're going to replace the team from the wild card from last year. And the Ravens will make it in the wild card. And the last wild card spot going to be the Chargers. Going to be a very tough AFC, very tough, competitive AFC. I could see a 9-10 win team not being able to cut it and make it into the playoffs. Possibly not even 11 win team. You're going to probably have to put up about 12, 13 wins to secure a playoff spot this year. It's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles. All right. On the NFC side, I'm going with the Eagles. They made it to the Super Bowl, but the Cowboys going to win that division. I see the 49ers winning their division in the NFC West. If they get Nick Bosa back early enough, I'm going to go ahead and say they get the number 1 seed of the NFC. The Lions going to win their division. The Saints going to win their division. The wildcard teams from the NFC going to be the Eagles, the Seahawks, and the Vikings. I'll probably I'll pick Super Bowl winners and playoff winners on Friday's show. That's what I'll do. All right. Let me go ahead and pick some award winners this week. The MVP. I'm going back to back Pat Mahomes, MVP. Coach of the year, I'm going to go ahead and give that to Dan Campbell up in Detroit. I think Detroit going to have a great a great season. We're going to be, like I said, I got them winning that division. Going to be one of the teams that increased the amount of wins that they had, even though they played really well last year. The Offensive Player of the Year is coming from that same division. I'm giving that to Justin Jefferson. I think he's the best wide receiver in the league now. Sorry, Devontae Adams, but I think Justin Jefferson took 1A. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to say the Cowboy, Michael Parsons. Get that done. Offensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Bijan. The defensive rookie of the year. I'm gonna give it to Will Anderson. I think he have a rough week 1, and then not even a rough week 1. I just don't think they're gonna win week 1. But he's gonna be the defensive player of the year. He'll have about 2 sacks on Sunday. And comeback player of the year this year going to be Odell Beckham. That might be a little homer pick there, but I got him winning the comeback player of the year this year in the NFL. Shout out to Coach Prime and NFL season. I'm sorry, NCAA football season kicked off. Shout out to Coach Prime. Coach Prime had Colorado ready to play, and they came out and they did what people didn't think they could be able to do. And that's, come to D1, him and his son, and show out. Shedeur Sanders had 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. The young boy, Travis Hunter, played over 100 snaps going both ways, offense and defense. So Coach Prime had them boys ready to play against the second. They were ranked 17th. So they came into the league this season ranked, and Colorado didn't. Now Colorado is the 22nd team. And if I got some time, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the NCAA rankings for football, the newly updated rankings. Shout out to Duke for pulling off the upset. The only matchup between two ranked teams, two top 10 ranked teams, was between LSU and Florida State. I picked LSU being the SEC homer, and LSU got destroyed. I don't know what Brian Kelly had them boys doing, but it wasn't playing great winning football. So going into this week, the AP poll for top 25, you have Georgia at 1, you have Michigan at 2, you have Alabama 3, you have Florida State 4, Ohio State is 5, USC and their 2 wins are number 6 ranked team. Penn State is ranked 7th, Washington is ranked 8th, Tennessee is ranked 9th, Notre Dame and their 2 wins is ranked 10th. Texas is ranked 11th. Utah is ranked 12th. Utah beat up on my Florida Gators. Something crazy. Oregon is ranked 13th. LSU lost, but they're still ranked 14th. Kansas State won, and they're ranked 15th. Oregon State won. They're ranked 16th. North Carolina beat up on South Carolina. So go Tar Heels. Go Heels. That's my basketball team. So go Heels. They're 17th. Oklahoma is 18th. Wisconsin's 19th. Ole Miss is 20. Duke, for their upset over Clemson, is 21. Again, like I mentioned, Colorado was ranked 22nd. Texas A&M is the 23rd ranked team. Tulane is 24th ranked team, and Clemson rounds out the top 25 at 25. So we're going to see if LSU and Clemson can bounce back. TCU was ranked. Not anymore. They're out of it now. They're out of the rankings so far. So yeah, I'm interested. If I had to say my top 3 college football players for a Heisman, number 1 obviously is Caleb. He hasn't done anything but throw 9 touchdowns and no picks in the first 2 weeks. He's still number 1. Not to mention he's the only player, I think, still in college with a Heisman vote. So, of course, he's going to vote for himself. So, you got Caleb. Second, I'm going to go with Shedeur. Shedeur played his behind off, 5'10", 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. I'm going to go with Shedeur in a second spot. Third spot be very interesting. I think Travis Hunter is making his name known in circles. So he's played well. I think the kid Riley out of Duke put his name up there. Michael Penix Jr. at Washington, he played well. I'm gonna go ahead and put him third though. Go ahead and put him third. So my top 3 Heisman rankings is going to be right now, as it stands: Caleb Williams, number 1; Shedeur Sanders, number 2. Damn, that's 3 Pac-10. As y'all see, the Pac-10 is loaded to shit with great quarterback play. So again, 1 Caleb Williams, 2 Shedeur Sanders, and 3 I'm gonna go with Michael Penix Jr. I think they 3 quarterbacks that played the best so far. Travis Hunter, like I say, he's making his name known, playing both sides of the ball. I think Prime going to have to put him at either wide receiver or cornerback sometime soon. Have him make a decision on, what's going to be the best route forward. Now, he's going to have to stay in college one more year. He's not eligible to come out this year. He's only a sophomore. So he'll have to be in college one more year. And I think between this year and next year, Prime will put him in the best spot. I see Prime building Colorado up for a couple more years to come. I don't think they win more than 8 games this year out of their schedule. But like I said, the Pac-12 is very competitive. And they're going to have to rebuild that division because most of those teams are leaving. So they're going to be in a brand new division pretty soon. And I think, just that Prime don't really have a need to go to NFL. He's mentioned multiple times he don't want to coach NFL. I think Shedeur grew up a millionaire. So there's no rush really for him, especially with the money he's making NIL deals. He's going to be a first-round pick this year or next year. So I don't see a rush for him coming out of the league or coming out of college. So him, Hunter, Shedeur, Hunter, and Dion will probably be at Colorado for another season at least. And Dion will probably have to build the team up after them two leave, after those 2 players leave. So if anybody going to do it, it's going to be Prime. All right, y'all. I'm holler at y'all again later on this week. If you haven't already, again, you see the ticker. Follow Al You Buggin' on X and Instagram at Al You Buggin'. Be blessed, be productive, be more. We love you. We out.